No better way to start sports than with the coach of St. John's.
Well, first of all, you got to shave the beard and have the mustache, so just like the rest of the players do. This bracket may be one of the toughest. You have the Minnesota Golden Gophers, the #1 overall seed. They're going to be taking on Robert Morris.
And Obama was ready for this? Playing basketball.
Yeah, he's got nothing to worry about, right? Nothing to worry about, right?
We'll see what happens.
He's got a good jumper. 49ers blow out the Bears 32-7. With the loss, the Bears are only one game ahead of the Packers and Vikings in the NFC North. The Minnesota Vikings will travel to Chicago on Sunday in a huge division matchup. I talked to some of the players. You know, you win the Penrose and the NCHC, you get a #3 seed. The St. Cloud State Huskies football team came down to Maryville, Missouri for the quarterfinals of the NCAA Division II playoffs, but it did not go St. Cloud State's way. A former Husky hockey player now in the NHL scores his first goal of his career last night against the Wild. Reports are indicating that Bears quarterback Jay Cutler will be back under center for the Bears. As far as the Vikings getting one of their top players back, we still have no definite answer. Vikings wide receiver Percy Harvin is still day-to-day after sitting out practice yesterday.
All right, let's play some fill in the blank. If the Huskies win, who plays well?
Ryan Farragher. Ryan Farragher. Anytime you have a hot goaltender, you have 16 teams left, you have 4 different brackets. Whatever goaltender can stand on their head the longest, that's what team's going to be hoisting the national championship trophy at the end. Huskies fall 59-21 in the NCAA quarterfinals in Division II football, but for St. Cloud State it was a very successful season. They had 12 wins in this season. They finished 12-2, the most by any team in St. Cloud State football history. Former teammates recall Kelly Loss as the ultimate teammate.
Kelly Loss was one of the very few players that ever complained about anything. So generally when something was asked of her, she would do it with a smile on her face, and the smile was contagious to the rest of the team.
Yeah, the best teammate you could ever ask for. She, like Kale said, never complained once in her life, I don't think. I mean, she was the first one on the field, last one off.
Kelly kept to herself, was quiet, but had 2 huge loves in her life on campus.
She loved softball and her rabbit. I can't think of anything else that she would talk about as much as she did.
A tragic softball injury in the Husky Dome itself led to a catastrophic finding: ovarian cancer.
The Dome tournament was where Kelly suffered a severe injury. She ran into another outfielder just flying after a ball, and you know, total Kelly style, was just laying it out, giving everything she had to give to catch this ball. And she ran into another outfielder, and she was actually knocked out cold. And it was a pretty tough sight to see, so we ran out there, and the paramedics had to come and take her to the hospital. So we went to the hospital, and you know, she checked out, you know, pretty bad concussion, sore ribs, good. But they sent her home, and then the next day she came into the office and she said, "Coach, I'm just not feeling very good." So I sent her down to the training room, and at that point they actually sent her to the hospital. And the diagnosis later that night was that she had 2 ovarian cancer cysts the size of a baseball and a softball.
Kelly Loss lost her fight with ovarian cancer on March 2nd of 2011. Since then, St. Cloud State University and the softball team have gone quickly to name the inaugural opening day weekend as the Kelly Loss Memorial Invite with the tag Coaches vs. Cancer.
For me, it was a significant loss. It was hard to see her go and to see what her family went through. And that's, you know, again, this Dome tournament is a great experience to always kind of remember how much fun she had with the game and what it really means.
Kelly Loss and her memory will live on much the same way as she played her softball career. Quietly, efficiently, and in the end, overall, amazing. Scott Gross, UTVS. The national search for the next head coach of the St. Cloud State men's basketball team has come to an end. This past weekend, there were 3 final candidates, and of those 3, 1 emerged. And it turns out he was in this gymnasium, roaming these sidelines for the last 17 years. Matt Reimer, the assistant coach of the St. Cloud State men's basketball team, has been named the new head coach of the Huskies, taking over the storied history of Kevin Schlegel.
The whole process, I was perfectly comfortable with going through the process. You know, people would say to me, "Well, you deserve this job because you've been there for 17 years." And I would say, "I appreciate your sentiment, but I want to earn the job. I want to be the next head basketball coach, not because I've been here for a long time, but because I'm the best candidate for the job at this particular time." And I truly believe that.
From the beginning, I shared that I was committed to hiring the best person for this position. And while many of you believe that I could have made that decision a long time ago, I think it was important that Matt earn the position not only through the work that he demonstrated at St. Cloud State as an assistant coach, but also by articulating what he brings to the head coaching chair. Without question, Matt has been mentored by one of our finest in Coach Kevin Schlegel. And yet it was important to me that he also begin to define in his own mind, as well as in our community's minds, the Matt Reimer era of basketball.
I think we're getting a very quality coach. Matt's been around the game a long time. He's had several different experiences outside of what he's done here at St. Cloud State, but he knows the league very well, he knows basketball very well, and probably most importantly, he knows how to recruit. So I think St. Cloud State's going to be in very good hands. When I called my wife, the emotion and joy that she showed and shared with me over the phone, I think Kevin probably heard in the next office door, and it's just kind of been that way with people close to me that I've let know. And as I've gone through this whole process, the one thing that keeps coming back to me is how humbled I am by all the people that have supported not only our program, but right now in this particular time, myself with this position.
Now, although Matt Reimer has been named head coach, he's been very busy. He held his first practice already on Monday, and he'll be on the recruiting trail this Tuesday already. So in the meantime, Kevin Schlegel, who, even though he's hanging it up after being a Husky for the last 40 years, he's still helping out with weight training and practices before Matt Reimer gets back from a recruiting trip. For UTVS News, I'm Scott Gross.